We're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling? Oh, take two.
What does queer liberation look like to you?
Queer liberation, to me,
It's just simple. It's respect.
It is the freedom to thrive from the inside out and shine as bright as you want to be.
Is knowing that you're safe to be yourself wherever you are.
I have so many different thoughts.
And looks like a society where no one ever has to come out, because at no point in their lives were they ever just assigned a sexual orientation or gender identity.
We deserve to live in a world in which the complexity of each human being is valued.
Freedom from fear.
Fear of being condemned for just being myself or yourself.
Existing as a queer person right now is a political statement.
There are still so many countries and places, even in the United States of America, where being LGBT+, especially being POC and LGBT+, is basically a life sentence. It endangers your life. You are in danger.
I am tired of having conversations with people where they learn about my queerness, and I can see behind their eyes that little voice in the back of their head thinking that I'm strange, that I'm different.
And until that is not happening anymore, queer liberation just doesn't exist.
Queer liberation is the freedom to exist beyond a culture that will deny you your own reality, your own self-identity, and your own true nature.
And that kids around the world won't have to hear death threats from their parents just because they're queer. That they won't be born in a country that says it's illegal.
We see a future where no queer youth grows up in a world where they have to feel shame for expressing their gender identity, their gender expression, or their sexual orientation.
I don't want a kid to ever have to feel the fear that most people do coming out.
So many queer youth go through life as a shell version of themselves.
We'll see a future in which children are taught queer history so that we can learn from our past and not ignore it.
Kids can grow up without a running list of the forces that they're going to need to fight every single day in order to just exist.
They can grow up and be their most authentic selves, and not only be accepted for that, but be loved and fully embraced for it.
we are now in a position to be a new generation of elders for these kids.
And queer liberation doesn't exist until it exists for all LGBT+ people.
Like, queer diaspora is recognizing that queerness is intrinsic to all cultures.
We achieve queer liberation when anyone, regardless of identity or socioeconomic status, is able to wake up, exist, and express themselves in their most authentic way without any fear of outside judgment, without any fear from not fitting in.
I suppose my hope for the future would be for people to recognize the things that I enjoy without having the caveat of, oh, she's trans too.
I want to be able to express how proud I am as a queer person in the Asian community. And I want to be able to express how proud I am as a biracial Asian American in the queer community. And I want both realities of who I am to be valued and respected.
It's about joy. It's about the future. It's about sharing community. It's about having relationships that don't necessarily fit within some prescribed box. It's about, happiness and liberation and an imagined reality coming true.
That was good. So what does the Queer Collective do to achieve that?
What does the Queer Collective do to achieve that?
Queer Collective aims to move the needle for equality through education and conversation.
The Queer Collective is a resource to people who might otherwise feel alone.
The Queer Collective is a group of content creators from all over the world with that shared vision of what that future could be. Making content together, hanging out, making friends, all that kind of good stuff.
We want to focus on celebrating people. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I wasn't really anything about